This boy right here,
Yo,
Colton.
your boy.
Colton, what is going on?
I'm here.
Well, this has been Geekdoms.
As enthusiastic as I always am.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Today's episode is going to be a bit different than normal. Of course, if you don't know, the one, the only, the skinniest of peas is back.
Yo.
With us. It's been a while. It is.
Yeah, it's been
January, December. I think was the last time.
January, because I think the last time was when I had COVID.
Yeah,
something around there.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Well, let's just get into it here. Come on, let's just get.
Yeah.
All right. Now, before we jump into everything, now I know there's some big news that just kind of broke recently over the past hour or so. So if you happen to be watching live, throw down in the comments like, "Hey, I'm here, I'm watching," or something like that. And
yeah, you fucking nerds.
Comment, yeah, maybe we should post some things on the social medias like, "Hey, come watch us, come do the thing."
It's the return of the Mac.
The return of the Mac. It always reminds me of the one It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode. Return of the Mac.
That's still one of my favorite 90s songs. Or is that it? No, that's 90s. Or is it 80s? I think it's 90s.
It's probably early 90s. I'm not 100% sure.
Still, favorite 90s song is Torn. I don't care.
Nothing's Fine, I'm Torn, even though it's a cover.
Yeah, even I know. It blew my mind like 2 months ago when I found that out, but it's still my favorite 90s song.
You found out 2 months ago that it's I'm just going to get laid back. I'm trying to make this a little more laid back than normal. I'm just trying to...
I can't do that or my seat will break. I'm sitting on the edge of it because I'm afraid.
Of course, my lighting isn't set up for me to sit like this, and now there's all these weird shadows. So maybe I should just get back. Ugh.
Yeah, my lighting's not as bad when my face is right here because my blinds suck.
All right, now for those of you who are new or haven't seen this show is typically run the first 15-20 minutes. When it comes to Colton and I, is just he and I just shooting the shit, catching up and discussing what's caught our eye over the last week or so. In this case, what's caught our eye over the last 6 months, 7 months.
Hey.
And the rest of the show is dedicated usually to a main topic. Now, this week's main topic is going to be about, there's this, the YouTube culture, especially when it comes to pulp culture and scoopers and stuff like that, is just ridiculous to me. There was a point in time where I was like, yeah, I'd love to get into that game. But over time, I became friends with some people, at the Culture Nerd in different places. And I learned quickly that is not something I want to get into. But one of the most notable scoopers is Grace Randolph. And we're going to talk about her for the main topic. So that's what we're going to do when we get there. Because, I don't know why we're doing that. I don't know why I decided to do that today, but we're going to. Hey, but the big thing we're going to get into right now, before we shoot the shit and talk about you and me, this actually just dropped. This caught my eye about an hour ago. Warner Brothers shelves Batgirl with no plans to release theatrically or on HBO Max. Now, this is saying Batgirl was in the final stages of post-production. Deadline is confirmed that will not be releasing the film on any platform, including theatrically. This falls in line with the mandate put down by the new Warner Brothers regime to cut back on feature films premiering on the streamer and deciding what films will be released theatrically and which ones will be shelved. And sources close to the project say word came down this week that this film did not make the cut. So this is the crazy thing. It was going to star Leslie Grace, Brendan Fraser, and Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne. A Michael Keaton movie isn't getting released. Just think of that for a second. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, whether you wanted Michael Keaton to come back as Batman or not, this is a Michael Keaton movie that isn't coming out. But then again, it was also only going to be released on HBO Max originally. Now, it was greenlit for a $70 million budget, but there was rumor that budget was getting close to or about to go over the $100 million mark, which is quite possibly the big reason why this got canned and shelved. Have you been following anything when it comes to data news, Colton? Anything?
Some whatever I can catch, because
Yeah.
life sucks. I know. Like the whole Zack Snyder getting canned, the whole Zack Snyder universe.
Yeah, I mean the Snyder cut or the Snyderverse. That's there's still people out there that are holding out hope. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I'm holding out hope that we get the Snyderverse restored. But let's be honest, it's
slim to none.
It's slim to none. Although people are going to say that this is pointing to it happening. But let me get into something here.
He's getting into that drink. Big gulp.
Well, the article lays it out. It didn't make the cut. It says it right here. Didn't make the cut based off of the new Warner Brothers regime looking to cut back. It's that simple. This has nothing to do with the Snyderverse. This has nothing to do with anything else. Of course, we're also hearing, and it's not in this article, there's another article, I think it's the New York Post article, says that they started test screening this and it was received horribly. Now, if that's the case, that's probably a big reason why. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I know you're not paying attention. You haven't been paying attention or been able to pay attention, but Warner Brothers right now is in a state of just what the fuckery. It's essentially.
Yeah.
Because there's no direction. Nobody knows what's going on. The Flash movie got delayed from this December to next June. Plus, we have all the Ezra Miller shenanigans where he chokeslammed somebody a year and a half ago, and then he broke into somebody's house, threatened to kill somebody, stole jewelry, kidnapped a kid. I don't know. There's so much crap he did. So there's all that going on. But when all is said and done, you still need to make content to make money. So what do you think? What do you think about this whole thing?
I think it's the new regime in Warner Brothers adopted a problem that they don't exactly know how to solve yet. So they're probably just doing a whole bunch of damage control. Like, this is received so poorly, so we're eating the 100 million. We're just going to eat it. It's fine.
And that's the thing. And don't think that this is unheard of for Warner Brothers. Now, the old regime, I believe it was the old regime. It could have been the new one. I can't remember. They spent $150 million or more on that Game of Thrones spinoff and ended up canceling that. So when you really think about it, it's not like you're sitting here saying, oh, this is unheard of. It happens. There are times when $100 million is spent and then they throw it out. What's crazy to me is that it was done. It was all but done. The only thing that wasn't done was most of the post-production. It was done enough to start, according to some reports, it was done enough to start having test screenings.
Oof.
So, and then not only that, they're going to shelve it. They're just going to throw it up on a shelf, never to be seen again. What's the difference of shelving it or throwing it on HBO Max? Because HBO Max, if you put it on HBO Max, you at least have the possibility of gaining subscribers on the platform. Like I can get if you don't want to release it theatrically because you spend $100 million on it, then you probably have to spend another $50 to $100 million on marketing. What if it only makes $100 million in the theaters? What if it's that bad?
Yeah. I mean, then you're still in the same boat as you are now.
True. Well, no, you'd be worse off then. But it would, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Why not just throw it on HBO Max? But then again, if it is that bad, if it is just that bad that they're like, look, it's better to just shelve this thing, get rid of it. Let's not even talk about it anymore. Or there's rumor that the man heading DC for the past couple years, Walter Hamada, is out. That he is out at Warner Brothers. And Alan Horn has recently come in to help guide Warner Brothers in the right direction. Could he be grooming somebody? Could he be the one that's pointing and saying, look, no, we're taking DC in another direction. What does it say about Michael Keaton? Because let's not forget, this past week we just learned that Ben Affleck is coming back again as Batman in Aquaman 2. Now, it is supposedly just going to be like a little tag at the end of the movie, whether it's during the film, post-credit, mid-credit, whatever it is. He is going to be as Batman / Bruce Wayne, or one of the two personas. Now, the reason for that we were given is because Flash was pushed to next summer. They originally had Michael Keaton doing that. So it wouldn't make sense because the whole Michael Keaton thing doesn't really come about until The Flash. So they had to change it to the other Bruce Wayne. But what if that's not the case? What if it's that they're deciding, you know what? Yeah, we'll have Michael Keaton in the Flash movie. It'll be a nice nod to the old Batman and the old films. But we don't want a nearly 80-year-old man being our Bruce Wayne and Batman for the future. What if that is what they're finally coming to, like realizing, like, you know what? Fans like Michael Keaton. Fans love Michael Keaton, but we need to have a Batman who can not need a cane and a walker.
A Batman who can Batman.
Exactly. A Batman who can Batman. You're exactly right. That's the best way to put it. So to me, like, if you really get down to it, if you really start to think about it, it's kind of like, well, you can make many conclusions. You can come up with different ideas and different things here on what is truly happening. Quite possibly the reports are right. It could be David Zaslav and the team saying, you know what? Nope, not worth it. It's terrible. Shelve it. That's it. Or it could go deeper, and it could have something to do with the Batman. I don't know. My heart is telling me I want it to be about Batman. My heart is telling me, look, I am a big Affleck fan, but I understand if Affleck doesn't want to do it, then don't make him do it, but don't get somebody who is 30 years older than him to then play it. Yeah. If you're going to recast somebody younger then. You have the multiverse to play with. You could essentially get a Batman who's younger than everybody else if you wanted to.
Yeah, you
can get a year one. You can get a year one Batman if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Or you can
sign me.
I don't know. It just this whole thing is just absurd to me. I don't. I freaked out. I don't know if you've been watching what I've been posting, but I've been freaking out about DC probably once a week the past few weeks. I'm yelling at them about Henry Cavill and Superman. I'm yelling at them about them having no direction, no plan. There's nothing to get excited about. Well, this doesn't get me excited either because regardless of my excitement level for Batgirl, it was one that I was going to watch.
It was still content.
It was content. It was DC content. But now you're taking that from the schedule. Nothing is replacing it right now. It's one less thing that's from DC that we're going to get. So it's, I don't know. I'm having trouble being excited for anything Warner Brothers DC related anymore. It's really tough. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I go and just see it. It is what it is. Nothing really excites me anymore. Endgame came and went. Now I just don't really.
Was that the last movie you saw? Like, my gosh.
No. I've seen some stuff. I don't even remember now.
Now, I was just talking about The Flash and Affleck coming back as Batman. Don't really need to touch on that too much. There's some people who are out there trying to say that this whole Affleck thing is just him being a nice guy. Like, hey, yeah, I'll pitch in and help you out for 5 minutes. I'll come to Warner Brothers lot. He's probably paid $1 million, $2 million just to, put on a suit and tie and say, hello, Arthur, and then walk away.
Oh, so, yeah, night name runs.
So, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't really care. As long as he doesn't have to spend 6 months in a bat suit, I'm sure he doesn't really care about doing it. And honestly, that might be the best way to keep him is to, hey, he's still here, but we have some random, stuntman in a suit. He just shows up for 10 minutes every day and says a couple lines.
I'm here. Give me my paycheck. Thank you. Bye.
but there was another Flash test screening supposedly, and
during that test screening, Ezra Miller went through and just roundhouse kicked the entire audience that had more controversy to his profile.
Man, he has disappeared. Like, he is gone right now. Like, no, where the hell did he go?
His PR team locked him up in a basement. He's just hiding. They tied him to a chair and there's like nipple clamps on him attached to a battery. He's not coming out for a while.
Oh man, it's crazy. Absolutely nuts.
That and the 7 babies he kidnapped down there.
But this Flash screening revealed one big change to the history of the DCEU. And some people aren't too excited or happy about it. It's during Man of Steel, the World Engine event, when, in Batman vs. Superman in the beginning, you see Bruce Wayne running through the smoke or the dust and saving people. Well, now they're going to show that the Flash was there saving people as well. I mean, so that's a possibility. There's people that aren't happy about it. They don't want to see things like that changed. And I mean, if you really think about it, we saw Man of Steel, had no idea Bruce Wayne was there. You see BVS. Oh, look, Bruce Wayne was there. You see another movie. Oh, the Flash was there too.
Yeah,
it's not that big of a deal.
It was a big event. More than one person can be there.
Exactly. But yeah, so that was the Flash test screening, the big thing that came out of that as well. But did you happen to see the Andor trailer?
No, I saw that it dropped, and I didn't get to watch any of it. I've been seeing stills of it. I'm really interested. Because it seems like it's going to dive into more of the political side of it than, war that we've seen for, 9 episodes and, 9 episodes, like 2 spinoffs.
Well, Andor, it looks pretty cool. I'm not going to show the trailer. Last 2 times I showed trailers during my show, I got hit. And they're like, no monetization. And we're not even monetized yet, but I don't
damn
want
you.
I don't feel like dealing with all that.
Now we owe you money.
Then you have to dispute shit. So I'm not going to watch it. But I do encourage you to go check it out because this trailer actually made me really interested in it. I haven't been very interested in the idea of this show, but this trailer is kind of like, you know what? Why not? Let's see the formation of the rebellion. Let's see all the shenanigans that happen. I'm all for that. I gotta say, for me, when I
oh, sorry, don't mind. One of my dogs are losing their mind out there for some reason. If you guys can hear it, I'm sorry.
For me, I want to see more Star Wars set in that era. I want to see, and not just with the Skywalkers, but what's going on around what is happening with the Skywalker saga. But there's so many people out there right now who are like, get away from that time period. Get away from that time period. And it's like, you know what? There's enough room for both.
Oh, that's why I'm disappointed we're never going to see a Solo 2, because, Solo 1 finally explored some of that and had nothing to do with anything with the Skywalker or anything
Lawrence
like that.
Kasdan, let me see what he said, because there was something that Lawrence Kasdan said recently. And
I was definitely looking forward to a live action Maul.
He said he would return a few days ago. Lawrence Kasdan, here, let's pull it up. There we go. Lawrence Kasdan says Solo 2 could happen, maybe. Solo, Star Wars Stories is an interesting film. It's something, let's see what he says. No, there's not been any talk of that. I've been particularly drawn to expanding Solo into a show, but I do talk to John and Ron Howard a lot about what went right and what went wrong with the Solo experience. I would be more interested in doing another movie, not a TV series.
I mean, I could get either a TV series or a second Solo. I like the first one. I mean, that was probably one of the only Star Wars movies we both walked into blind, because neither one of us really looked forward to it.
No, both of us were just kind of like, why?
And then we saw it and we were like, fuck, why didn't we go see this? But
yeah, we didn't even go opening night, did we?
No, I think we went that Saturday.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Or something like that, because we were both like, it's whatever. And then we saw it and we were like, why didn't we want to look more into this?
Yeah, that's...
Hey, here's something that happened since the last time I was on the show. Kenobi. I mean, the only real cool thing was that whole, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'll issue my own spoiler alert. The Vader versus Obi-Wan at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I was disappointed in the show. It was not. It didn't give us what fans deserved. Fans of the prequels, fans of Obi-Wan, it didn't give us what we should have gotten. Was it a doable? Was it? It was a fine show.
Yeah.
But it did nothing special. It did nothing to really push the bar to, in my opinion, expand on the relationship of Anakin and Obi-Wan. And that's what I was really hoping the show would have done. A lot of people on, my TikTok and stuff like that are like, "Oh, then what did you want? What did you want?" Well, I wanted to see their relationship just torn apart even more. I wanted to see why Obi-Wan thought there was still good in him, and we never get that. We never get a moment in this show where Obi-Wan would think there's still good in him. So that line that Vader says to Luke in Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan once thought as you do. It doesn't really work now.
I mean, the only one good thing that came from the show was Obi-Wan's closure that, like, Anakin's dead.
Yeah, that's
fine. And that scene was probably easily the best part of, like, the whole sequel thing.
And it would have been better, had it not been done before. True. If that scene was not done during Rebels with Vader and Ahsoka, the same exact scene, the almost,
verbatim, almost
verbatim. It was almost the exact same thing. Had that not been what happened in Rebels, I would agree with you. I would say, man, that was a great scene. But
I mean, Ewan McGregor's acting is up there.
Again, there's no knock on McGregor. I think he went
was
into
just
this.
A victim to a script.
He went into this, completely in. He was all in with this. Even Hayden Christensen, but the script just wasn't there. It wasn't good. And it goes back to that. Let's not forget the Obi-Wan. It was supposed to be a movie. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be a movie. Solo came out, bombed, and they were like, "No, we can't do a movie." So then they brought somebody in to write it. Somebody tried to take the movie script and turn it into a show. That writer got canned, and then they brought in another writer. So I think it went through too many hands.
It got the Marvel treatment, just the oversaturation.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I just it should have been better.
Yeah, but I still enjoyed it. But granted, I mean, I don't care. I'll sit there, watch anything, and thoroughly. I even saw what I watched, and this is NSFW. I watched like all of the spoilers for Endgame on Pornhub because that was the only place it was up for like longer than it was anywhere else.
Yeah, I remember you doing that.
And I definitely watched it, and I still went into Endgame and enjoyed it. So
sticking with Star Wars, did you see this big news here? Amanda Stenberg.
So glad you didn't say Pornhub.
Amanda Stenberg cast in new Star Wars series, The Acolyte. Well, we know The Acolyte's been coming for quite some time, but it looks like Amanda Stenberg, she will be the main character. She's the first one cast. She's the only one that we know of is being cast in the show. It was rumored, I want to say like 6-7 months ago, but they just confirmed it last week during Comic-Con. So she was Rue in Hunger Games. Rue? Not Rue. No, not Rue. What was she in Hunger Games?
I haven't seen the Hunger Games in forever.
She was one of the little people in Hunger Games.
But have we gotten any other news from the Acolyte?
That's it. I mean, we know Leslie Headland is the one that's creating, director. I don't know if she's going to direct the whole thing, but she's making it. So that's pretty much all we know so far. It's coming out in 2024. We do know that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it is coming out, but that's pretty much it. It's supposed to start filming in December of this year. So, yeah.
And I'm sure you have, but have you seen the, I don't know if it's a leak, maybe a spoiler, maybe a rumor, about the Dooku, young Dooku. I can't think of the name of the show series.
I heard about that. I
I
heard
can't
about
remember
it.
what it's called.
Well, it's Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah,
That's
where
it.
you
Yeah.
see Dooku kind of fall. Did you see everything about it? I don't know. We might be rumor spoiler territory.
Yeah. What about it?
On Reddit, I was reading. Apparently, Yaddle and Dooku Dooku and Mace are all in it, and Yaddle's in it. And apparently, Yaddle and Dooku duel. Dooku's the reason Yaddle's dead, and Dooku was also there during Qui-Gon's funeral in Episode 1.
Interesting.
And so it's like, I don't know, because by the time I guess Episode 2 is quite a time, not really too much of a time jump, but it's a time jump from Episode 1.
Yeah.
But Dooku I would assume, be more Sithish by that time. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, 10 years, 10 years before the Clone Wars starts. So no, I think his fall is in that time. Because
his
Palpatine,
death, when he kills Yaddle is when he becomes Darth
Tyrannus.
Yeah, is when he kills Yaddle. He's declared Darth what you know what I mean. According to the Reddit
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah. Words are hard. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's interesting.
But I saw it on Reddit. I mean, you could take that for what it's worth, but apparently that's the plot point from a reputable person.
Well, I want to talk about something that I know you're going to be excited about. And I know my son Chase is really excited about this also. Ooh. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to reportedly feature 4 protagonists in 3 cities before being scaled back.
Yeah, it's because no one you can't find a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox anywhere. So
Grand Theft Auto 6 originally featured 4 protagonists and a story that spread out over 3 playable cities. Last week, a new report claimed Rockstar had overhauled its workplace culture, trading out crunch and cynicism for healthier alternatives. The report also claimed that GTA 6 would star a female Latina protagonist as one of the 2 playable characters because of these changes. Now, a second report has shed new light on the sequel's development. According to Axios, the original development ideas for GTA 6 revolve around 3 protagonists and would have seen the game play out across 3 entire cities instead of just the standard 1, as we've seen in GTA games in the past. According to this new report, GTA 6 now has a scaled-down scope for launch. This could mean that Rockstar was originally envisioning a far larger project when starting work on GTA 6, but has since scaled back as part of stopping its developers crunching on projects. Goes on and on. You can read more if you want. But
I saw somewhere that it now we all heard this with GTA 5 that we're going to get story DLCs, that it's been almost 10 years and we still haven't got a single one.
Yeah, it's not happening.
But GTA 6 was rumored to get story because of this cutback. It's supposed to get story DLCs that add like new cities and stuff like that.
And I think that's what's probably going to happen, because if you do read this, it doesn't say what the plans are for the future of GTA 6. This is just about the launch.
Yeah.
So they're talking about, hey, they're scaling it back for launch. But that doesn't mean that all these plans still can't come to fruition. Look how long GTA 5 has been around and how much they keep putting into that game, or have put into that game over the last, it's been 10 years now, right? 2012.
No, 2013. Next year will be 10 years.
Next year. So 9 years. Over 9 years, they've put in so much. Now, granted, it wasn't single player content.
Yeah, it's all but multiplayer.
But that doesn't mean they won't do that now.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, and on the plus side, they've done it right. And I mean, it's microtransactions, but technically everything is a free update. Technically.
I don't know if they'll go that route this time. I think that costs them a good bit of money. But
yeah,
I think it's going to be a good thing in retrospect. As long as this city is still bigger, I know that they were saying that the city was going to be huge to begin with. As long as it's the same size, and honestly, it should be bigger than what we have in 5 with the power of these systems now. There's no
which
reason
they're
why
basically gaming computers at this point.
So, yeah, exactly. So make the city bigger, and let's say in a year, 2 years, add another city to it. In a year, 2 years, add another city to it. Why not?
I remember reading somewhere, I don't remember where I read this at, But apparently every building not every building, but like majority of the buildings you were supposed to be able to walk into, and they had some sort of interior to them. And the AI was supposed to be jumped up to, they actually have, like, they don't just like mindlessly walk around. Like if you walk up to them, they do go to their job, and then after 8 minutes or whatever in game, they would go and actually like go home and have a life. And terrain was supposed to be destructible and no more indestructible hedges. Like it was actually like more interactive than what, according to this report, than what we've seen before. So will we see it? Only time will tell.
Only time will tell for sure. I tell you what, I mean, gaming wise, I have my Xbox Series S, and I've played some Halo here and there, Halo Infinite, but there's really nothing else that I've cared to play. That's kind of sad. And GTA 6 would definitely get me. I would definitely get GTA 6, not only because I enjoy the series and the online play, but my son likes it, my fiance likes it. So what the hell? Why not? Let's get it. But I can't think of anything else. Like, is there a game that you're specifically looking forward to right now?
Not really.
Like
Destroy All Humans 2, maybe, but that's for nostalgia.
Well, talking about nostalgia,
all I do is play competitive Call of Duty on my 2 hours before I go to bed. So.
Talking about nostalgia, unfortunately.
Oh, I know. I saw that. That's
the remake for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game has paused amid studio shakeup. So, for those of you who played the original game in 2003 or sometime after 2003, because you can still play it on every console today because it's that great of a freaking game.
Yeah, it's still regarded as the best RPG ever made, but
they were going to remake it, but it had a playable demo a month ago. A playable demo. And it's shelved right now. Like, what the hell? Come on.
They were like, oh, hey, this will make money. Psych. Because I mean, let's be honest. I would have spent the $30 or $40 to get it.
Dude, it's not going to be 30. It's going to be a $60 game.
Oh, I know, but hands down, I would pay it. Not even, no questions asked.
But here's the question: Why? Because the studio. What was the studio they got? It was like some unknown studio. Developers at Austin, Texas-based Asper Media, Aspire, Media, whatever.
Words are hard. I understand.
Words, yes. Why not just get Bethesda?
Right? Like, it's not like they don't exist.
Not Bethesda, BioWare, or anybody.
Yeah, Respawn. It's not like they don't exist. They probably still have the source material too, instead of like building it from the ground up.
Like, it to me, it makes no sense why you get a studio who's not earned it. Let's actually, no, we're going to do this right now. What have they made? Aspire 2. Oops.
I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains. They probably haven't made shit, to be honest.
Just ask. Games.
Oh, they've headed the looks like the online and all the remakes.
So that's what they did. So they remade that stuff.
Except for
only Myth Force looks like to be the only original game.
I don't know, the Force. Well, no, they ported it to the Switch.
Apple Arcade, Switch, Windows, Apple. Yeah, everything was a port.
So basically, they have the source material. They're just throwing some new texture on it and calling it a day.
So they legitimately don't do shit.
Sorry, Aspire. We'll take an interview though. I'll take an interview. Tell me how you don't do shit.
Look, and they still have the remake up here on their main page. Like, check this out.
And what's crazy is,
like, come on.
Peace is a lie.
And this is not gameplay, so it's not even.
What the Sith believe.
They could have just made this like anytime.
They promise power.
I don't know.
Now they wield it. We face the greatest Sith in generations. They must be stopped.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I didn't hear what you said.
I said spoiler alert. He's not completely a Sith.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Nor is he a Sith in the beginning of the game either. Spoiler, sorry.
Spoiler. I don't know.
But did you see what it was released on? And I think we'd both have a problem with that. PS5 and PC. It's not coming to Xbox.
I believe it was a timed exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. I got it.
They would really, maybe that's why it's delayed, because you still can't find a PlayStation 5 anywhere. I'm dead serious.
They actually fired 2 of their directors that were making the game.
That's
so
probably because they were like
their project and art directors, I believe, are who they fired.
Oh, they weren't slapping the skin on fast enough.
I don't know. I get delays.
It's sad that the gaming world is now seeing what Hollywood's been seeing, that there's no originality anymore. We just keep remaking and remaking and remaking.
Why not make a good sequel?
Exactly. Like, just, you have tons of lore to play with. It's not canon, so who cares?
Did you see my headset holder I made?
Oh, look at you! Look at you!
I'm doing.
I don't have anything I've made. My desk is a mess. The whole room's a mess. It's a mess.
Oh man, I tell you, we're gonna get into the main topic here in a second. But before we do that, I do want to let everybody know to keep an eye out. Next week, hopefully it's next week, I'm going to be releasing another interview that I did with Shannon Rona of the Pittsburgh Avengers, who has been on the show before. We had her on 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something. It was during the pandemic. I know that.
Yeah, it was COVID times.
And like right in the heart of it. And we had her on, but I got her back on this time with video. And not only that, but I sat down with us was a man by the name of Brad Lambert. And he is a manager in Hollywood, and he does speech. He goes around the country and does speeches at colleges and such, talking about how to get to where he is,
how to
do him. So we sat down and I got to talk with both of them at the same time. And I was finishing up some of my editing today, and I was just grinning ear to ear because I truly love interviewing some of the, not some of these people, but these type of people, these people who are creative, who just want to bring joy to people's lives. I love interviewing them because they're so excited and they're so happy to be doing what they're doing. And I was just grinning ear to ear today. So I'm looking forward to that releasing. Like I said, I hope it's next week. I got a few little things I have to finish editing for that, and then it'll be released. So be on the lookout for that.
Nice.
All right. Look.
I am looking.
Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph.
I keep pulling my headphone out of my ear.
What are you doing?
I keep pulling my headphone out of my ear. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Grace Randolph person. Claiming things and doing things and stuff.
Why? I just want to know why. Why is Grace Randolph even a thing? I'm serious.
Well, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, they do tickle time in the bedroom.
Look, maybe you are somebody who follows her, watches her show, something like that. I don't know.
And what the fuck's wrong with you? You should be listening to us.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell? I reached out to her. I want to say it was like 2016, 2017. I reached out to her to just pick her mind, pick her brain, not necessarily to be on our show or me be on her show or anything. I just reached out to her to just be like, hey, because at the time I didn't know any better. And I was like, I like what you're doing. You're doing some cool stuff. I watch your show. And she never responded. And that kind of stuff pisses me off. Okay. Like, if you have somebody who's legitimately a fan, somebody who's, hear them out at least. I get messages. I have people who email us or message me on Twitter and like, hey man, I've watched your show. Hey, I follow you. Hey, how did you do this? Or why are you doing this? Or how'd you do that? And I'll answer. I'll talk to them. I have no problem talking to them. I don't understand. Like that was the first time I ever was just like, really? Come on. But she recently, here's her thing on Batgirl. Batgirl is canceled. Just got the confirmation from my own sources. Video later tonight after I go live. Hollywood believes. New York Post broke the story. I had multiple sources dismiss it as silly, but it's now starting to go around. Why did she? This is my problem with the scoop game. Okay, like why didn't she come out and say, "Hey, it's canceled"? Like, why not?
Because that would have been easy.
If she didn't know. She didn't know. This is all bullshit right here, in my opinion. All bullshit. Right here. I heard this is not true. As someone who has said in the past, movies should be scraped. I hear it's extremely difficult to get out of contracts, etc. Which is why stuff like the New Mutants got released 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago.
Her sources are crazy. They just like change. Wind change direction, man.
That's wait. Hold up. Looking into this could actually be true. So she's saying nobody in Hollywood believed it, blah, blah, blah. She was saying multiple sources dismiss it as silly. That's what she was saying. Just got the confirmation from my own sources. But she was hearing that it was dismissed as silly. Why wouldn't she put that in this tier? It just pisses me off. I'm sorry. This isn't even what I wanted to talk about with her. But
it's all good. It's understandable. You just got to call people out on their shit when it happens. I mean,
and
it's okay to not know. Like that's what we're all here for.
Yeah. So what's this? Okay, here's the rumor: the Warner Brothers Thursday Max will be folding into Discovery Plus, getting rid of HBO Max scripted, overall streaming, focusing on unscripted. HBO Max stays as is premium cable channel. I don't want to look at that. Whatever. Where is it at? I can't find it now. Damn it. There's this. So she posted the other day. I gotta find it. I should have saved it, but I didn't because it's Grace Randolph.
Ooh. It's okay. I'll dance over here. People will watch.
Thanks. Yeah, keep doing it.
So audience, while he's searching for that, how have you guys been lately?
Here it is. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So on the 29th of July.
Fuck your opinions.
And don't sit here and think that I'm just going to be a typical Snyder fan, calling her out for this. Because, yes, I am a Snyder fan, but he's ridiculous here. She goes, you Snyder fans are all getting played. I'm trying to help you retain some dignity. But that's cool. Do you? The Snyderverse is never coming back, in large part because so many of you are so toxic. You made your own bed. I hear the new Warner Brothers Discovery leadership doesn't want to engage you, so not even entertaining the idea of bringing the Snyderverse back. The story should leak at some point, just clearing up the mess.
Yeah, she's super positive.
Why? Like, there's nothing. She's not replying to anything. She's just saying it. Like, it's not a reply to anything. She's just saying it. What is the reason for it? Here's my thing. I tried to do this whole YouTuber thing where I'm like, hey, I'm a stand-up guy. I'm nice to everybody, all that kind of stuff. And I do. I fail from time to time. Sometimes I let my emotions get the better of me. But this shit pisses me off because she is supposed to be somebody. She's supposed to be somebody who fans are. She has a following. She has fans who are following her.
Yeah. And when you have this kind of platform, like even like, I mean, I don't really use social media as much as I used to, but you're supposed to remain like unbiased because that's how you get your scoops and things like that.
I wouldn't even say she needs to be unbiased, but what she needs to do is not piss off people. Like, you do your best to speak the truth. You do your best to keep hope alive. You do your best to promote positivity and excitement. That's how I try to be. I don't care. Like, if you love something that I don't like, yeah, I'll sit there and debate you on it. I'll talk to you about it. I'll go back and forth with you, but I'm not going to take that away from you. And that's my whole thing. Like, look, you want to love Justice League? Go for it. You want to love The Rise of Skywalker? More power to you. Wasn't for me. But I'm not going to take that away from you. That's what she's doing here. She's taking away joy and excitement and the possibility from fans. She's saying, I'm trying to help you retain some dignity. What the hell does that even mean? Yes, there are toxic Snyderverse fans out there. 100%. I will not deny it. I will admit that myself. There are. And I call them out all the time. But in large part because so many of you are so toxic. Bitch, get out of here. It's like, honestly.
I mean, her comment makes no sense, because if you're really going to make that an argument, I just read the suicide prevention one. You can make that argument with any fandom. Star Wars, especially since what, when did The Force Awakens come out? 2015?
Yeah.
2016?
2015.
It has been hella toxic since then.
Yeah.
But, and I mean, video games, that's just part of the culture at this point. And really anything, if you're going to, toxicity is just part of it. And I mean, you got it just is what it is. That's just such a broad statement that makes no sense outside of trying to pick a fight with strangers.
And that's all she did, because look at what it did for her. It boosted her up. I mean, she got 302 retweets, 575 quote tweets, 4,300 likes because of this. She's the one promoting toxicity right here. She knew damn well that this was going to piss people off and they were going to come at her.
Yeah, like that's all that was. That was a real quick. I'm feeling really bad about myself, and my likes and stuff haven't been up. So let me just post something.
That's what it sounds. She's looking
that's
for
literally all.
there.
That's all that was.
Now,
and Grace Randolph, come debate me. I dare you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, she hates the Snyderverse. She hates the Snyderverse fans. And a lot of people wonder why. What is it about the Snyderverse that she hates? Why is she so against it? Well, the big thing is there's rumor or belief that she had, not rumor, more belief that one of her or some of her contacts at Warner Brothers are gone or risk being gone because of everything that happened with the Snyderverse. But what really pisses me off is she had Zack Snyder on her channel, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Zack Snyder was on her show 3 times. Twice to promote Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like,
do you guys smell that? That's hypocrisy.
It's exactly what it is.
Like,
because here's the thing. If you don't agree with the toxic fandom that's out there, whether it's Star Wars, Snyderverse, what have you, every fandom has it. Every fandom has toxic fans. And yes, sometimes it pisses me off. Sometimes I let the hate flow through me a little more than I should. But overall, I will always promote excitement, passion, unity. No matter what, with any fandom. Yes, I'm not in the scoop game. I'm not. And I have no intentions of doing so anytime soon.
There's no fun in it. That's my opinion. I like to talk about it after the fact.
I like knowing shit. I've said this quite often. Like, even if I had contacts and they were giving me information, I wouldn't tell anybody. Yeah. Because I just like knowing shit. My favorite thing is to go to a theater and see the reaction of the fans, of the people watching the movie. That is one of my favorite things to do. That's why I love going to the premieres and then taking my family and friends like the next day or a few days later, because then I can kind of sit back and I know what's coming up. So then I'm like more focused on their reaction to what's about to happen. So if I knew, if I had somebody scooping me information, I wouldn't tell anybody, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody else.
Yeah.
Now, if it's out open on the internet already, I'll talk about it, because what the hell? Why not?
Yeah,
it's out there.
It's already there.
Yeah. But if I know it's stuff that nobody knows, I won't tell anybody. But I have no intention of getting the scoop game. But even so, She's sitting here in her next tweet after that, where she replies to herself because she's full of herself. The story should leak at some point. So she's saying, finally, after all this time, Warner Brothers is going to acknowledge the Snyderverse and acknowledge in a way that is going to piss people off. That's not going to happen. It's not. There's no way in hell that Warner Brothers is going to sit there and say, look, we have a fandom. They like these characters that Zack Snyder made. No, we're not going to greenlight the Snyderverse. Maybe that's true. Maybe they're not going to greenlight it. But why piss off those fans then? Why go and say, you know what? We're not greenlight. It's done. It's never happened. It's never coming back because of you.
Yeah, that outside of picking a fight.
That doesn't make a lick of sense. Not even a little bit. I think Grace Randolph is in over her head. I think that's what it is. I think that she's become so full of herself. I think that she's become a victim of her own of what she's become.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason for her anymore. There isn't.
Oof.
There's no reason for her channel anymore. If she's going to spout hate like this, if she's going to push toxic comments like this, there's no point for her. There isn't. There's not a single one. And this is, yes, I'm a Snyderverse fan and a Snyderverse supporter, but I'm looking at this from outside that. She needs to back off. She comes across as cocky. If you watch her shows now, she comes across as cocky all the time. If something doesn't happen, like she said, let's not even talk about it. I know this is Snyderverse related. Let's not forget that she was one of the ones pushing that Hal Jordan was going to be in the Snyder Cut and that he was going to be played by Ryan Reynolds.
That happened, by the way.
That's what she was pushing. So she gets it wrong, but she will never admit that she's wrong. She will never take back anything when she's wrong. She will never, and she does it in a way too, where she's conniving about it. She'll be like, well, that was the plan, but things didn't happen. Ryan couldn't make the schedule work. This couldn't happen. She finds a way to then twist what she said so she doesn't look like she screwed up. Instead of just taking the L and saying, yep, I fucked up. Sorry. Let's move on.
That's a problem with a lot of scoopers. Is just admit that you got it wrong. Like it's fine. Again, you're not going to hurt your credibility if you just go redacted or like, hey, this came out as false or whatever. Sometimes not everything's 100%. Just own up to it and move on. You increase your credibility instead of becoming Hitler.
Over on our network, we've had with Spoiler Country, they had a guest host doing interviews when they were doing interviews. Sil Abdul, he was helping them out a little bit. He was getting his feet, wet and into the interview game with Spoiler Country. He's a good guy. He is. He and I have we had our ups and downs. It all kind of stemmed from everything that happened with the Culture Nerd and Lightcast and everything. It wasn't so much the Culture Nerd. It was more Lightcast than anything else. The Culture Nerd, they get a bad rep. They really do. They've been, while they don't get everything right, and they didn't get everything right, Taylor's been willing to come out and say, look, I screwed up. I didn't get this right, or I was wrong. I was told wrong. He'll come out and say it. Sil is kind of the same way. He and Mikey Sutton at Geekosity, they've got an interesting channel when it comes to scoopers. I don't quite understand how or why they do some of the stuff they do, but I would listen and watch them before Grace Randolph because one, they're entertaining.
Oof.
Two, they don't get all cocky and snarky about everything. And three, they're good guys. Like they're guys that you would want to hang out with. And that was kind of, that's kind of what pulled me into listening to Lightcast years ago and then starting to follow the Culture Nerd. Because Taylor, he's a good guy. He's a guy that you'd want to hang out with. They've since gotten out of that game, out of the scoop game. They don't do the scoop stuff anymore, which is fine. You know, it's not for them. And I think Grace Randolph just needs to go away because it's not for her. If something is rustling up her panties this much, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Step back, touch the grass, reevaluate your career, and go on.
I mean, she may have a bunch of contacts. I'm not saying she doesn't. But the way she backpedals, the way that she acts with the fans, it pisses me off. It really does. I don't know.
It's just someone that's platform's gone to their head and they lost themselves, which is something, I mean, you see it with YouTubers, you see it with politicians, you see it with actors. It's people that, you know, became too famous for their own good.
Unfortunately.
Or too powerful, I guess, in the case of politicians. But I mean, regardless, it's something that it's what's the word I'm looking for?
And to finish off, we're gonna get off that, but I think this is funny. So I was texting John from Spoiler Country, and I sent him the article about Batgirl.
Oh, hey! Oh, before we go there, happy National Boob Day.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I figured we'll date the episode there, but you know.
I sent him the article about Batgirl, and he goes, interesting. He said something else, and he goes, #release Batgirl. He said, it's bound to happen. Well, here it is. Right here. Whoopsie doodle. Let's see if he was the first one. Nope, let's click on it. Who was the first one? Nope. Batgirl Film News was the first one. Gail Simon then. So there you go. There you go.
It wasn't that. I'm still waiting for the Ayer cut. I'm still waiting on that. Yeah. Will we see it? Probably not. But
here's the new hashtag, everyone. Get ready. You thought, you know, all you people, all you Grace Randolph fans want to sit there and say Snyderverse fans are toxic. Wait till you start to see these people here. Like, look, this is the film right here. Like, this is Batgirl costume. I don't know if you saw any of this.
I think I've seen the costume, but I haven't seen anything else.
There's Batman.
Oh, that looks nice.
Firefly, played by Brendan Fraser.
I thoroughly enjoy that costume.
Yeah. Zack Snyder will break the internet if he tweets release Batgirl.
Honestly, he probably would. Let's be honest.
Please. And please, like, do it under a Grace Randolph.
Right. Just #release Batgirl and just Twitter breaks.
No, I don't know. This has been an interesting week for sure when it comes to DC stuff, and I don't know. But next, I'll still be doing a show this Thursday for those of you who are listening or watching this. This Thursday, Ken and I will be back together again, talking news. He wants to talk Comic-Con, even though I talked Comic-Con last week. He wants to talk about it himself, but we're going to just focus on Marvel. We're going to really talk about what Marvel released, or not released, but unveiled, and what our thoughts and expectations are for D23.
That, you know, I still think Marvel's just stretching themselves to the point where it's like they're just going to release, like,
I agree,
piss poor quality stuff. Like, what was it? Was it the mall? No, it was Thor. I haven't seen the new Thor yet, but that screenshot that's going around.
Yeah, they've
of Heimdall. I'm assuming it's Heimdall, young Heimdall.
They've really screwed themselves with I think too much content for sure. And then you had the VFX artists come out and say they suck to work for. So
I mean, it's Hollywood. Everything sucks.
Everyone, follow us on the socials. Find us there. Like us on Facebook. All that jazz. watch some of our other shows. I got a couple other channels, BTG Shorts or Bridging the Geekdom Shorts on YouTube. That's where all my short videos go. You can follow us on the TikTokies if you like to use TikTok and not YouTube Shorts. So yeah, do all that stuff. Like I said, there will be a show this Thursday with Ken and myself. Eventually, we're going to get Colton and Ken on the show together. Eventually.
Yeah. I'm going to tell USPS to quit penetrating me.
Shh, don't tell people where you work.
This is what it is.
All right, everyone.
You literally can't hurt me.
They can't. They can't hurt me.
Yeah, we already deliver enough as is. You literally can't break my spirit.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that jazzy jazz stuff and things. It was fun. Thank you for coming on, Colton. We got to do this again. You're still technically a host of this show, so
yeah.
you need to
Well,
be on
I told you off-screen stuff I've been working on.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It's like long. I'm trying to go for like long form. I'm trying to get into filmmaking, honestly. So trying to make that leap.
Make that leap.
And anybody wants to donate to Colton's Dream Foundation and help me buy a drive-in. You know, it's not set up, but if people are willing, I'll set it up.
Hey, there's a drive-in for sale down the road from us.
I know, and I can't afford it.
I know. I told Dominique, I was like, we should buy it. And she just looked at me. I was like, we should do it.
I mean, on as much business as it gets, you probably could break even once you pay it off.
Yeah, and do cool things with it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Like,
all right.
Like the initial costs are too much, but like, you know, you pay property
everyone.
Taxes, you're fine.
We'll talk at all of you later. Thanks for watching.